Shakespeare said, if music is the food of love, play on. And this is what we have planned for this edition of Asian Vibes with two very talented musicians, Ruchit Khatri and Sean Jesso. Thank you so much for being here, and thanks so much for your time, Ruchit and Sean. So Ruchit, let's start with you. Tell us a little about yourself. Where are you from?
I'm from India. My educational background is I'm from psychology. Here in Canada, I'm doing my post-graduation diploma in human resource management.
Wow.
Yeah. And I brought tabla with me.
Yes, I can see that.
Yeah.
From India to Canada.
Yeah.
Which part of India?
I'm from Gujarat.
Gujarat, the west part of India.
Yeah, west part of India.
So, how did you get interested in this percussion instrument, Ruchit?
Yeah, since childhood, when I was child, I got interested in the rhythmic part of music. So I started learning tabla from my Guruji, who is one of the best tabla player in India. His name is Pandit Nakul Mishra. So I started learning tabla when I was in second grade. So it's been like
Second grade?
Yeah.
You just learned to walk. Okay. Yeah.
So it's been like 14 years that I've been playing tabla, like learning tabla. So yeah, that's.
So does anybody else play in your family?
No.
How did you? What was the influence? What was the?
Like my father is a sculptor artist.
Okay.
My brother is sculptor artist. So there is no one in my family who plays tabla or any musical instrument or in music. They just always love to listen music, but they don't play or not into much music.
Yeah.
But I was quite interested in music, so I'm the only one who's been playing an instrument in our family.
And why tabla? How did this love for?
As I said, I was always been interested in the rhythmic part of music. So and still, tabla is the most popular, one of the most popular instruments in India. So I started learning tabla.
It can be played both as a solo and as an accompaniment, right?
Tabla usually is for accompanying an instrument or singing or dancing, but it can be played a solo and it could be a great.
Yeah, it's got a very, very big popularity and it's on the center stage now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Sean, tell us about your interest in music. I don't want to go into the journey, but just how did you get involved with the music?
I fell in love with listening to my parents' records, and then I inherited my aunt's records, and they were all strange names like Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix, and the Rolling Stones. And I was in grade 5 and going to Holy Cross School, and those records really grabbed me, and I decided right then, listening to those early monophonic Rolling Stones records, that Charlie Watts must have had the best job, and playing drums, making good music. So
you compose your music, both of you? Do you do your own compositions as well?
Well, today we're going to be improvising. So we have a little bit of a sketch of what we're doing when we play together. And but down to the stroke, no. We don't know exactly how long each section will be.
Right.
We're going to be looking at each other for cues and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's always a challenge with musicians from different cultures because the kinds of cues you're used to looking for are different. But we're brave.
Tell us about that. You talked about different cultures and mixed cultures. I'm very curious to know what brought you together. How did you get to know each other? How did this beautiful association happen?
When I came to Canada, one of the agenda in my mind was that to bring my culture here in Canada, that I probably gonna teach somebody who might interested. Yeah. So when I came here in Thunder Bay, I Googled whether there is any music workshop here or not, and I found his workshop. I went there, I called him, but he was not there, so I called him, and he was quite interested. As you can see, he is very fascinated to get to know two different cultures, musicians. So that's how we met, and we had a jam session. So
That's how
That's how it
that's
worked.
how it happened. The beautiful association.
Yeah.
You talked about, is it just Indian cultures or Indian musical instrument, or have you gone beyond and tried to embrace global music as well?
In my
Sean,
studies,
yeah?
I'm an absolute, beginner with in regards to Indian music. I know some of the terminology, and maybe not a complete beginner. Through Music Workshop, I've brought in guest teachers, and it's a music school that goes year round.
Right.
But over the years, I've brought teachers from Ghana and collaborated in bringing Trishi Shankaran to do a workshop with Ragrang Music Circle.
Awesome.
One time on the kanjira drum. And been involved in bringing some drumming, master drum teacher from Uganda to Thunder Bay for a week. And Baka from Uganda, Kwashi from Ghana, Suleiman from Palestine.
So every time there is a new artist, and you
Yeah,
try
I like to keep my eyes and ears open, and I get so much inspiration from it. You know, the alternative is to go away and study, but I've also had time and opportunity to bring people here and study here with Thunder Bay people. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's so nice to keep these cultures alive,
Yeah.
and bring in all these different cultures too.
Yeah.
Right?
But I've been curious about
yes.
Indian music
Right.
since the very first Ragrang concert that I remember attending was Vishwa Mohan Bhatt.
Okay.
And I got the CD at the end of that concert. And I've been looking for opportunities to learn more. So when-
Specifically tabla?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, absolutely. So as soon as Ruchit called and said, I'm from India and I play tabla, I said,
I could
come
feel,
over.
You feel excitement
Are you-
of two artists.
Are you near a
meeting.
bus
I could
stop?
feel the excitement.
Oh,
Yeah.
so nice.
I was excited too.
Yeah, absolutely. So Ruchit, you're here as a student, and this is your love, passion as well.
Yeah.
How do you juggle between two different worlds, and how
See-
many hours of training required?
See, when I came here in my college, it's a wonderful college. There's a union, Suki, and they
That's
organize.
the student union.
Yeah, student union, and they organize a competition. So I participated in, and I got third prize. Yeah. So these are the things that keep me engaged in tabla. Though I do not get much time to practice, but I still manage to practice somehow for about half an hour or hour a day. So yeah, that's it.
There's a lot of motivation as well. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
self-motivation.
There's always YouTube, so I can get motivated from YouTube, watching different kind of videos
And all the artists from around.
talking to my Guruji
Oh, okay.
once a week.
Once a week you are in touch with your Guruji?
Yeah.
Wow. We will talk about, the Guru Parampara,
Sure.
Guru Shishya Parampara.
Sure thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you were also saying that with regards to training, this is all self-learning as of now? Or just with the YouTube?
The thing is that me and Sean been discussing is that I've learned this instrument from only one teacher.
Right.
It's not the same case in Western culture. So yeah,
So one teacher for the entire 14 years that you've been learning.
14 years. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Which is quite unusual
All right. Why
in
so?
our terms, right?
Right.
If you learned music like I did in Thunder Bay, you had Cliff Ojala for clarinet and Phil Cotton in high school and
So each
somebody
different-
else and on and
Oh,
on.
I
Or
get
the
it. Okay.
vocal teacher would come into your classroom and then next year might be a different teacher and many
Cool.
teachers.
Yeah,
That's
great.
not the case in India.
India, yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on to these beautiful, beautiful thoughts. We will be right back, dear viewers. Stay tuned. There's so much more to know about this beautiful association. We'll be right back. Welcome back, viewers. You're watching Asian Vibes. And Ruchit, we would love to hear you. Love to hear your renditions. But before that, could you tell us a little bit about the traditional guidance that you have received, your relationship with your teacher? You've always been mentioning about your teacher. Can you talk a little about your relationship with your teacher and the experience that you've had with him for the past 14 years, what we call it as the Guru Shishya Parampara?
Guru Shishya Parampara,
Yeah,
yes.
could you tell us a little about that?
Actually, there are so many ways to put it, but I would like to say that for Guru Shishya Parampara, a student goes to teacher's
Right.
house. Yeah, so generally, a student goes to teacher's house and the teacher provides the knowledge, which is not been written down anywhere. It's always on his mind.
Wow.
Yeah. So Pandit Nakul Mishra, my Guruji, he taught me from the day one how to practice, how to keep on practice until you make sure that you are doing good. So that's what is Guru Shishya Parampara is about.
It's so sacred. What I've
Yeah,
understood
yeah,
and heard, it's very, very
It's very
sacred. The
sacred.
relationship that
Yeah.
a student has with his teacher.
For that, I can say that whenever I enter in the room where my Guruji sit, I always bow in front of him, and then I call him Guruji Namaste. Then we start playing tabla. Even before I start playing tabla, I always do this thing.
Like a small little prayer.
Prayer, yeah, we can say that, yeah.
A silent prayer.
Yeah, it's kind of showing respect.
Respect,
That what,
acknowledgement.
yeah. Saraswati Devi, as you know, that it's a goddess of music.
Music, learning, education.
So, we are supposed to show some respect
Nice.
because it's giving us peace and whatever we need. So,
And there is a formal training as well.
yeah, there is formal training before.
So there are exams and things like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So I can tell you that there are 7 exams in in mastering tabla. The last one is called Visharad.
Oh, okay. That's a
And
final exam.
yeah, and I have the certificate of Visharad.
Wow, congrats.
So I have cleared all of the 7 exams. Fortunately, I was also a part of the event of Guinness Book of World Record.
Guinness Book of World Record.
Yeah, when I was in 9th grade.
Okay. And
Yeah,
what was
which
it
was
about?
about 315 people, like students, played all together continuously for 90 minutes, and I was one of them.
And
So
tabla.
yeah, tabla.
90 minutes of rendition.
Yeah, 315 people.
And
all
nobody's
together.
broken that record yet.
No. not
Wow,
yet.
congrats. That's a good
Not
feat.
till the date.
All right, now we are very looking forward to listening to your rendition.
Yeah,
What will you play?
before I play,
Yeah.
I just introduce this instrument.
Time
This
me,
beautiful instrument you're seeing is called tabla.
Okay, yeah.
The Indian drum, you can say that. Yeah. So here, the black thing here, it facilitates the sound coming out of it. It lingers it, like. The thing here is called Maidan, can be called ground. This thing here is called Maidan, Kinar, which means edge. These are called gattas to stretch the straps, these straps. These are indoni to put the tabla on so that they can stay still. This is hammer,
To tune.
yeah, to tune the tabla.
Right.
So a tabla player must know about tuning,
Of course, yeah.
because basically tabla is used for accompanying for other instrument, with other instrument, or singing. So they just want to make sure that it's tuned.
Right. So let's hear you play now.
Okay, sure. I'll just play utan, then kaida,
Right.
and then some tukra.
We
I'll
just
try.
have 3 minutes, eh?
Yeah, I'll just try to recite. Okay. nada, din din na, din din nada, din din nada, din din nada, din din na. ಗೆದ್ರಿಗಿಡದಾಗಿದೆ ಟೆಕತ ಗೆನ ದಾತುನ್ನ ಗಡ ನದಿಂದಿನ ನದಿಂದಿನ ದಿಂದಿನ್ನಾದ ಗೆದ್ರಿಗಿಡದಾಗಿದೆ ಟೆಕತ ಗೆನ ದಾತುನ್ನ ಗಡ ನದಿಂದಿನ ದಿಂದಿನ್ನಾದ ಗೆದ್ರಿಗಿಡದಾಗಿದೆ ಟೆಕತ ಗೆನ ದಾತುನ್ನ ಗಡ ನದಿಂದಿನ ದಿಂದಿನ್ನಾದ.
Thank you so much. Awesome, really. So we'll take a very short break, Ruchit and Sean, and we will be right back. And we want to listen to both of you now. Stay tuned, viewers. We'll be right back. Welcome back, viewers. You're watching Asian Vibes. And in this segment, the final segment, we're going to be listening to both Sean and Ruchit doing a jam session for us between the Indian percussion music and it's went a Western counterpart. Can I say Western, global?
Afro-Cuban congas, goblet drum, and frame drum.
Wow. Okay, so here we go. Looking forward to listening to both of you. between the instruments, but also between the artists. Did you plan this? Did you how does this work? These kind of compositions, which are so open
we just made a skeleton, like not decided each and every detail.
right.
Yeah, we just
The vibe and the wavelength on the spot. There's so much spontaneity with the.
Basically, we got together 3 times.
Yeah.
Each time we changed our plans. But each time we were getting to know each other a little better. And so I think we understood a little better. Oh, well, we could do this or we could do that. We had more options, more rapport, and start to see the cues.
And it's so versatile, each of these instruments that you're playing, both Sean and yourself.
Yeah.
It's versatile. You're playing all kinds of music with it. I think it can be blended with classical as well as different musical scenes, right? Wow, awesome. What future collaborative plans do you have? Do you have any other future plans?
We do. We know we're going to play more music and create more rapport musically.
Sure.
And, we're both love to teach, so I'm sure that'll be part of the future as well.
When I came to Thunder Bay, I kind of make some contacts. So Sean made me meet with Angela, and she's like kind of into Indian religion. So she does bhajan, kirtan. So
vocal. She's a vocalist.
Yeah, she plays harmonium. She's Canadian, but still.
Oh, she's a Canadian singing Indian bhajans and playing the harmonica.
Yeah.
Okay.
Harmonium.
Yeah. Harmonium.
So she kind of asks me for accompanying her. So I usually go with her and accompany her, playing my tabla with her harmonium, and so this is what I've been doing.
Have you performed together in some platform?
Today.
Oh, this is the okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure there will be many more opportunities.
Yeah.
And when you are planning this, so there's no written notes. It's just you look at each other and you say, okay, this is what I. How does
And
this?
putting it together, well, this piece. So the format for this piece was. I was bringing ideas to Ruchit and saying, well, maybe this would work, maybe this would work. And then he was saying, yeah, I like that drum, or this one seems to blend nicely.
Yeah.
And there's 12 other things that we left at home that settled on these.
there are 2 other instruments as well?
Oh, yeah, we tried everything.
There is no place to walk in his house because it's full of
Sean's place.
Sorry, I didn't tell you that, but yeah.
Right.
I didn't tell him that there's no place to walk in his house.
So do you play, Sean, do you play just drums, only percussions, or do you play string instruments as well?
A little bit, yeah. Some bit of guitar, a bit of bass, and a 4-string instrument called the Merlin or the M4. I mess around with a bunch of things in private. Someday I'll bring out my wind synthesizers and some things, but they're not ready yet for the public.
So, Ruchit, do you think you have learned tabla after your 14 years of formal training?
I can say that I haven't even started learning tabla.
Wow.
My ma'am used to say that when you get the degree of Visharad, you can start now. Learning tabla, learning an instrument.
Oh, the Visharad is the last final exam you mentioned.
Yeah, but still, she says that it can be a start.
Wow.
It's he compared it to a bachelor's degree.
Yeah.
Those 7 exams in that 14 years.
Wow.
Yeah, but
And there is anything more beyond the Visharad?
Yeah, of course. Alankar, that can be compared to masters. Alankar, yeah.
Will you be ever taking tabla playing as a profession at some point?
I haven't thought of that.
Right.
I kind of keep it that way because
as your love and your passion and something that you'll pursue. I wish you both, Ruchit and Sean, all the very, very best with all your future projects. And I'm sure there will be a lot more platforms for you to play. This is just the beginning. And you really brought magic today in our studio, and I'm sure to the Thunder Bay music scene. And it'll be a pleasure to listen to you again, really. I mean that. Thank you so much, Ruchit and Sean.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
for
much.
Everyone.
I'm sure our viewers enjoyed, and thank you so much for being on this edition of Asian Vibes.